Rugby Happy Hour Live. Interviews with the biggest names in American rugby.
Consecutive MLR Championship, and Team USA make history in Paris.
USA Rugby is heading to Australia.
Here are your hosts, Bill Baker and that other guy.
Just like the Open. I got it. I did it this time. The pointing in the Open. Hello, John Fitzpatrick. How are you?
Good, Bill Baker. How are you?
I am fantastic. It is a day during the week.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going with that. But
all right.
I'm kind of messed up right now, Fitzy, because it's a little bit of a lull before the exciting storm that we're all looking forward to with a taste this weekend. And then kicking off with the 26th MLR season. It's like, why is it so quiet for a moment?
Yeah.
What's going to happen in a week?
Yeah, because usually we're like a good 3 or 4 weeks now into the start of the MLR season, but obviously things changed and condensed a little bit and shifted backwards. Finally, rolling around to the end of March and in our first regular season match. Man, this is good stuff.
Yeah, it's very good stuff, and I'm actually happy they're pushing it back a little bit. I know for many reasons, other reasons I'm happy about, but because as a New England fan, being out in sideways snow and rain to see the Free Jacks play, I don't know, Old Glory, whoever, it's not fun as a fan, not fun for a player either, but I'm glad they're pushing it back a little bit.
Well, that's why you drink all those New England IPAs to warm yourself up, right?
Yes, put on extra fat, especially on the gut to stay warmer. Well, Fitzy, we got a great guest today. Just in a minute, we got Paddy Ryan from the Seattle Seawolves. Paddy's been on the show before. I think you remember that. We did the audio only Twitter Spaces at one point. He jumped on with us.
Yeah,
it's great to get to know him then, and it's great to get him back on the show to talk MLR and talk about his move also in the offseason. But I don't know. Maybe he'll surprise us. Maybe he'll have a new recipe he learned while playing for San Diego on making. I don't know where I'm going with this, Fitzy. Help me out.
I don't know where you're going. I'm just letting you just dangle in the wind there, man. I'm offering no help.
Clearly this part's not scripted. All right. Well, listen, you don't want to hear me babble anymore. No one wants to hear that. So let's do it. Let's get to our guest in just a second. But before that, listeners, please like, follow, and subscribe. If you're watching the YouTube video, Facebook, whatever else, please share it with friends. Subscribe to the channel. And also subscribe to the podcast or Replay Plays. Every one of these shows is set up as a podcast for the very next day. And it'll live there forever or until my subscription runs out at that said podcast hosting service. So do yourself a favor, go check it out and share it with your friends and rugby teammates, new fans, everyone else. This is what I really enjoy about the show, Fitzy, is that we get to talk to people like Paddy today. And all kinds of people making, involved in the game. It's a blast. And
Bill, I got an idea.
Fooled him to get him on the show. So,
yeah.
Yeah? You got something to say?
Yeah, why don't we get to the interview, Bill?
Fine, whatever. Okay. So our jingle department, I believe, is trying to write hit songs now, because I gave this a quick listen when they sent it to me, and I was like, dude, that should be on the radio.
Oh.
We'll let our guests tell us if it should be or not. So here we go. Let's introduce him.
Today's guest from islands, thoroughbred country, to the beaches of San Diego, and now the umbrellas of Seattle, with a broken his voice, his eyes full of fire. Until the Seawolves plant the crest in the halls of Starfire.
Right.
Let's welcome to the show, Paddy Ryan.
There he is.
Oh, there we go. What an intro that was.
Paddy.
How long
Right.
did it take you to make that?
A week. I don't work, Paddy. We just do music and interview rugby players like yourself.
Wow, I loved it. Yeah, I reckon you got a top hit right there. Get that.
I think
get
so.
that everywhere.
we've had a few other guests say, "Hey, please send me that song. I'm going to put it in my workout playlist, or I'm going to give it to the stadium to play when they introduce me."
You know what? That's such a good idea. This weekend we're playing, so I'll speak to the marketing team, see what they can do, and we'll get you the royalties for it.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, Paddy, welcome back. Last time, like I mentioned in the pre-show, you were doing an audio show with us, and now you get to see our beautiful faces. How have you been, man?
Yeah, I've been great. That was a while ago now. That was when I was in Spain for the Villa Joyosa tournament. What was it, 2023?
Three, I think it was.
2023, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time ago now, so it's good to be back onto the show. And you guys have the podcast has come a long way since the Twitter Spaces, and it's great to see it. We got songs and intros and everything now, so I'm happy to be on the show. I just got back from Cape Town yesterday. We spent the last 2 weeks there with Seattle, which has been a great experience, great fun. The travel back wasn't so fun. We had about 42 hours of travel. Obviously, with all the stuff going on in the Middle East right now, we were supposed to go through the Middle East on the way back. We were supposed to go to Doha, but we got changed, so we ended up going from Cape Town to Johannesburg to Nairobi to London, London to Seattle. So it was a long old travel day, but I'm glad I'm back here in Seattle and ready for the season.
Dude, I'm wiped out after a 5-hour cross-country trip, and you're like, "Oh, it's just 48 hours, and we're now ready to."
Yeah, it was a long one, but it was a great trip. We had 2 weeks down there in Cape Town. The weather was lovely. It was like high 90s. It was like a heat wave the first week we were there, so that was tough. Our second week of preseason training and that, so it was like it wasn't just warm weather. It was like extreme heat training. So then it was good. And then obviously we were preparing for our game against the Stormers then for the 2 weeks that we were there, which was a great experience. It was cool, really cool to play in the stadium down there in Cape Town. It was massive and a great experience for all of the guys to play there against.
Yeah, we want to talk more about that in a few minutes also, but something more important. John Fitzy and I are in a fantasy rugby draft right now. Andrew Coe is one of our fantasy players.
Yeah.
I'm due up in probably a couple hours. I know you're not allowed to do fantasy sports yourself, but I do need a back row player.
I didn't know we weren't allowed. I thought, actually, that sounds pretty cool.
Well, maybe you are. I don't know. Things might have changed. This was like, I think a couple of years, we asked someone that a couple of years ago, and they said, well, we're not allowed to. So that's probably changed. So I'm thinking about picking you up, and I need some assurances. Are you going to score some points for me?
Yeah, is that how you get the most points by scoring tries?
Tries, meters gained, tackles. Yeah, primarily. Yeah.
Okay, well, if I'm
80-minute matches too. 80-minute matches gives me points.
I haven't scored the MLR yet. I've had. I came late to the MLR 2 seasons ago, and then last year I got injured halfway through or pretty early into it. Yeah. So if we're going off history, tries scored probably not a good one for me. But I can certainly give you a lot of tackles, jackals, and hopefully some good carry meters and stuff like that, and then hopefully get on the scoreboard this year a bit more often. So that's the plan. So I definitely recommend picking me, and when I go out, and I'll give you an extra tackle each weekend, an extra point. I'll be thinking about it.
Yeah, and when you get your first try, I want you to go right into the camera and say, "This is for you, Bill."
Well, Bill, I might pick before you though, so I might steal Paddy from you. I might steal Paddy from you.
You can only pick one. You can only pick that person once. Is it one per person?
Yeah.
Okay.
There used to be 2 Paddy Ryans in the league.
Yeah, I'll make Bill pick the other Paddy Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. And there was once 3.
3, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, which is funny. How many points do you get for a try?
I think it's 5. Yeah. I think it's 5.
Yeah.
You get 5. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm not going to be taking any conversions, so we'll just stick with 5.
No, that's why you pick fly outs. They're the ones that kick all the points, pretty much. So
yeah, no, very good. No, I'd recommend it. I might even get myself on there if we're allowed to. That sounds pretty fun.
It's the Fantasy Ruckers. You should check out their stuff.
Right, I'll write that.
There you go.
So Fitz, I'm going to toss to you. Take it.
Yeah. Let's go back. Let's rewind a little bit. Jumping from San Diego to Seattle. Obviously, there was a little bit of some turmoil, to say the least, in the off season. I mean, I guess talk a little bit about what you went through. Right, San Diego merging with LA, for the lack of a better term there, and then you deciding to go up to Seattle. What was the process in terms of going to Seattle? I mean, I'm sure you probably had a pick of your teams. What was it about Seattle that made you want to go up there and latch on with the Seawolves?
Yeah, obviously it was. It's a pretty difficult time, but I think almost most players have gone through it in the league now that have been around long enough that teams come and go, which is just part and parcel of the MLR right now. I'm sure that'll change going forward, but yeah, unfortunately, San Diego merged with LA, which meant that all the San Diego players were free agents basically. So we could sign with whatever team we wanted, which was unfortunate. I really enjoyed living in San Diego and playing for San Diego. I felt like they had a great rugby environment set up there. But I guess they're taking over California now, so hopefully that works out really well for them. There's some great guys in LA and from San Diego as well, so we wish them the best. As in terms of the next steps, then, so as a player, you're like wondering where's the best spot where you're gonna perform to your very best. And for me, I spoke to a number of different teams about what's best for me, where do you want to live, where you're gonna play, what's the coaching setup like, and what's going to get the best out of you as a rugby player. So then in the end, I had some great chats with Clarkey. Clarkey's obviously an Irishman himself as well. And we got on really well from the start, and I felt like he believed in me, wanted me to improve as a player, and told me how he was going to improve me, and also develop some of my leadership skills and develop me on and off the field as well. Alongside that, we also had some good assistant coaches in Robbie Abel and Steve Brett, and obviously Steve was part of the USA setup as well, which is pretty important as well. So it's great that you're kind of with the attack coach all the time that you're going to be dealing with for USA as well. So a package of all of that, and obviously Seattle have won the championship twice before. They've won it, they've been there, done it, and they've got aspirations to do it again, of course. I'm sure every team in the league does, but obviously they want to bring it back again. So all the combination of that felt like the right move for me.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, Fitzy. I believe every player has an agent / significant other that may have input in where you land. Was that the same case as you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, everyone has an agent nowadays who does most of the work. So you're not having to go and speak about contracts and different bits like that. You build the connection yourself, the relationship with the coaches once the time is right, and then you decide what the best route is. What you speak to your partner, your girlfriend, and your agent as well, and your family and everyone that's important to you, and you work out where's best for you. My girlfriend is still living in San Diego right now, so it's only a 3-hour plane ride as well up to Seattle, so it's not too bad at all.
Good.
Did you take your surfboard up to Seattle with you?
No, I had to leave that in storage in San Diego. I did enjoy surfing. I wasn't very good at it, but it was really fun. I went for a little run today by Alcali Beach, and there's not too many waves there, so I might have been wasted taking it up here.
Well, now that you're in the land of Seattle, you're surrounded by Starbucks. Are you a big coffee guy? And if so, is Starbucks your coffee to drink now?
No, so I do love coffee, to be fair, and I've got my own machine and my own setup. I don't know if you see this. Where's Olive Ridley coffee? Tion will love this. So this is Tion Lutz, who plays for Chicago. So this is his company. He's got some great merch out there as well, and some great coffee. So
order one of those.
We stick that in the coffee machine here and make some nice flat whites together. And shout out to Tion as well. So he'd be happy with that.
So how long have you been located in Seattle since then?
Yeah, so I only moved up, was it 3 weeks ago now? So I moved up before the first week of preseason that weekend. We had our first week of preseason, then we left on the Friday. So I've honestly only spent probably like 10 days in Seattle altogether. I spent more time in Cape Town than I have in Seattle so far. But I'm sure that'll change.
Well, just stay away from the gooey duck. If someone offers you a gooey duck.
What's a gooey duck?
It's like a clam, but it looks like it's about the size of a horse's, you know what?
Yeah. Oh my god. Like I should be staying away from it straight away.
Yes. Look it up one day, or ask somebody, "Hey, do you have gooey duck on the menu?"
Yeah, and then don't order it.
Don't order it. Well, it may be good. Rocky Mountain oysters are what you want to avoid. That's like bull's balls. You don't want that.
Okay, no, we'll stay away from that. The chicken, the steak, and the mince beef, and that'll keep us happy.
Yes. Well, Paddy, you mentioned we're talking to you earlier. You mentioned your trip down to South Africa, to play Stormers. Let's talk a bit more about that experience. Not that travel back that sucked, but talk about the experience of being there. Training. I'm assuming you trained with the team as well, or maybe by yourself. Not sure, but how was that experience? And then also, why go? How'd that happen? Do you know anything about that? How that partnership happened?
Yeah, so Coach Clarkey has does some work with the Stormers as well, or has done in the past, and built up a good relationship with their coach. I think his name is John Dobson, is it, or Dobbo they call him? But yeah, he's got a good relationship with him. So that sort of came together over the last couple of years. They've been speaking, working together. I think some of the coaches has maybe gone down there to get some experience in the past. And so over time, that's sort of built up. And I think this is an idea that they've come up with a couple of seasons back, and eventually it happened. And we were so lucky to be able to go down there with the short season ahead. Only 10 games. It's like a sprint. So really, the most important thing is building like a really good culture, and good, like, getting those good connections with your friends there and your teammates, because you can't build that on the pitch. So you build that off the pitch, off the field, and that'll stand you in good stead when it comes to yourself. Comes to the sort of tough moments in the games in the season when you're going 10 games back to back. So that'll be tough. But as in terms of the rugby, we had a great time down there. We were training at a local rugby club, and it was so cool for a lot of the guys to see the quality of the kids that are training there. So we were on one Saturday morning, we were training there, and all these kids are running around playing, and some of the skills that they have is so impressive. And it's so nice to see that this is what rugby is like for some guys who probably don't grow up with rugby everywhere. Right. They see the quality of these kids and how they're training and playing every Saturday morning. It was really inspiring. It was definitely tough training. So we were obviously in preseason at the moment, so there's still an element of sort of conditioning and working hard. But with the shorter season as well, there's a big focus on getting your sort of fundamental rocks like set early. In the past, you probably do more conditioning, but you don't really have the time to do that. So you want to really work on your defense and your attack strategy and your kick game, and basically how you're going to win rugby matches over sort of fitness elements to it. So yeah, 2 weeks training there, and then we finished with a game against the Stormers. We trained at the Stormers high performance facility as well, which was really impressive. So we had a couple of training days there. We didn't train against the Stormers when we were there, just because we were playing against them at the end of the block. We needed to work on our attack strikes and our defensive policies and all different sorts of bits like that we didn't want them to see before we played them. So yeah, a couple of days training there, which was really nice. It was really impressive setup, nice food, unbelievable pitches, facilities, changing rooms. Call them locker rooms in America, don't they?
Wow.
Same thing. And then we got ready for that game on the Sunday. So we were playing after the Stormers played against the Dragons. So we were able to go in a little bit early and just have a quick look at the stadium, see it. It was pretty full at the time, and it was a great atmosphere. And the Stormers won that game. Actually, we didn't get to see the end of it because we were warming up, but it was really good. We played against quality opposition as well in our first preseason game. We're straight into the deep end. These guys have been in training for 7 months, and they've obviously, if they're not playing in that first team game, most of the time they're not playing then. So they have a new under 23s competition there where they can play under 23s and 7 guys who are over 23. So this is like a good opportunity for them to put themselves forward so that they get picked the following week for that competition. But there was a really quality opposition, guys who've played like test matches before for Scotland, for South Africa, and guys who've been played for the under 20s there as well, U20s. So they're a really good standard. And as for us, we brought the full squad, all 31 players. I think we have. We played all 31 players, and we're really proud of the effort that we showed. And I would think the first preseason hit out, we played quite well. We were in the game up until about 50, 55 minutes. what was it, 17-14 at one stage. And obviously, in the end, the scoreline got away from us slightly. I think it ended up at 45-14, or something around that. But there's a lot of positives to take from that, considering that's our first game, our first time playing a game together. And our big games will come ahead of us. We got another warm up game this weekend against the Harpooners, so we'll have 2 preseason games before we go into the season as well. So that those sort of games like prime you for the sort of running ahead as well. Get your body right, take those hits early, and get yourself nice and match sharp so you're ready to go.
Is there a difference in that match with that Stormers side that maybe we don't see here in MLR? I know it wasn't the first Stormers 15, but was there some elements there you're like, oh, okay, these guys are fast, these guys are hard, whatever?
Yeah, they were pretty technical around around the contact area. They're really, really physical team. They're hard to break down, which wasn't easy. And obviously their scrum as well. They have got obviously South Africa known for their scrumming abilities, and they had one of the strongest scrums that I've ever seen. And these guys weren't playing in the first team game, and they were still absolute quality. So that was an area that was really difficult for us, but actually it's such a good experience for our scrum that it'll take some good learnings from that and go forward into the Harpooners game and into the season that maybe you don't figure out usually until the first round of the season. It's too late then. So
yeah,
that's an area that we'll really work on going into the next game and show their quality. And also they had some amazing speed as well. They had some nice crossfield kicks, so they kept you on your toes all the time, and also their offloading abilities as well. So if they get through contact, their support lines were really impressive. So it meant that it was hard to scramble back once they break you down, or once they make a little bit of gain line, break through the contact. Their support play was really impressive. So that's definitely something that we'll look at it bringing into our own game as well.
Yeah.
Paddy, obviously you just finished playing up against Stormers 23, and then you mentioned you've got another match tune-up against the Harpooners before your regular season starts week 2 at home against Old Glory. We always ask folks, like, do teams benefit from having a preseason game, right? And there are some in camp who say, well, yeah, it helps us kind of like sharpen, maybe get our timing down, work on a couple of things. Then others who are like, well, there's the risk of the injury that concerns, because it's not that it's a meaningless game, right? But it's important to have a good outcome for it. I guess, where do you fall on whether it matters to have a preseason game or just bang right into regular season matches?
Now, I can see the argument for, like, obviously the risk of injuries. More games you play, more risk of hurting yourself, of course. But I fall into the category that you're a rugby player and you want to play rugby matches. And I feel like your first game back, our first game at the weekend, and our next game, we're still not at match fitness or match sharpness even, because you can do 15 on 15 against each other, but it's not the same replicate of playing an actual game. So I think it's really important that you do have 1 or 2 matches just to get yourself ready for it, because you see different pictures that you don't see in training, and your body gets primed for the contacts and for carrying into contact and getting tackled that you don't usually get in training. So I think it's important. Obviously, you don't want to have loads of them. I think 2 is plenty for this season, as it's only a short season. But I can also see why people don't do it as well, as it is only a short season and it's 10 games on the bounce. I can see the argument against it, but as a player, you obviously have the opportunity then to play yourself into a team as well. It's a new team. I want to perform to the best of my ability and show what I can do to make sure that I'm in the best position to sort of get picked at the weekend for that first game against Old Glory.
Mm-hmm. Last question here on the trip to South Africa. Obviously, you were training and working out, but some of it is, hanging back, relaxing, maybe having some team building opportunities there. What did you guys do for fun as a group? Any like excursions or outings?
Yeah, so there was lots to do in South Africa, and obviously you have to have days off there because you're still in training, you're still in preseason, but you have to have the opportunity to have the down days and days to connect with the lads. So there've been some trips to Table Mountain was one of them. We played some lawn bowling as well one day, which was pretty cool that I've never done before. It's really popular down there. There was paddle, pickleball. There was trips to the beach. a bit of sunbathing, which was nice, and then some socials together then as well, to top it off at the end of the trip after to celebrate 2 weeks of hard work together, which I think is important as well. So we worked hard. We were on the pitch, and then we also enjoyed each other's company and experience in South Africa. Then when we were off it.
Who was your roommate? And can you tell us anything about him? Is anything secret we should know?
Nah, Sean McNulty is my roommate. So he's obviously another Irish guy signed for Seattle this year. I'm also living with him this year as well, so he's actually downstairs. So I can't say too much about him. But we've roomed together before, and no, he's a good roommate. You're not talking all the time. You can like be in the same room and say nothing, or you can be on your phone watching a few TikToks. It's all good. We watched some Below Deck together. Just to pass the time of the evening sometime. And it was no, he's a good roommate. I can't complain about him one bit, so I'll give him a good shout out, good review.
Good. All right, so look, MLR season opener coming up. Seems like week 1, but it's technically week 2. Home match against Fitzy's team, Old Glory DC. An exciting Friday night match, which I'm not sure if you ever played a night match at Starfire before when you were with San Diego, but it's a great crowd. It's electrifying there, and with only 10 regular season games this season, is every game like a must win, or just very vital, important to get those points?
Yeah, I think obviously that home opener on that Friday night is going to be great. Everyone's been waiting like months for rugby, and finally it's going to come back, and it's going to go like a sprint. It'll be over before we know it, which is obviously pretty disappointing, because as a rugby player, you want to play as much as you can and play in as many games. So for both the players and the fans, it's like get out there and enjoy it and experience it before the season is over. So we're really looking forward to that home opener, and I think with the reduced number of teams, every team is going to be really competitive this year, and the differences aren't going to be a lot because it's a short preseason. You don't have time to prepare loads, so the actual quality of rugby, I think, will be really high, because you got the best players are still left in the league, and obviously we have more Americans in the league now this year, which is great. So we're really happy with that. So I think the quality for MLRs itself will go up, and also USA Rugby as well as a whole will go to new levels. So we're really looking forward to that. But yeah, every game is definitely a must win, because obviously the league structure has changed this year as well. There's no longer 2 conferences; it's just a straight up league. And come the end of it, you want to have one of those home playoff games, because everyone knows playing at home is a lot better than going away, especially in the playoffs game when you got a big crowd in. I remember coming to Starfire Stadium with San Diego 2 seasons ago, and we were in a conference semi-final, and the Seattle crowd was going crazy that day and made it pretty tough for us. And Seattle came out on top, and I think they went to the final that year as well. As a result, they were pretty good. They beat Dallas. I think, did they beat Dallas, or I can't remember. But yeah, they went to the final that year, and they lost to the Free Jacks. So definitely it's a tough place to go.
Paddy, one of the I guess, given the off season was a little turbulent, obviously with some teams folding, but one of the developments that came out of it, I think that was good for the game across the board and looking ahead, is the fact that Major League Rugby and then the MLRPA, the union that represents the players here, signed a CBA, right, that maybe covered some issues for the next couple of years, helping players out on and off the field. I guess, each team has their own player representative that probably feeds the information back to the other members of the team. But how much were you guys kind of clued into what was going on there, and did everyone have a say or a vote in saying, yeah, you know what, the CBA, this is close to what we want, let's go ahead and get this thing signed off?
Yeah, so I was part of the committee that was on these calls, and obviously the league and the Players Association were going back and forth over the off season, and it's a shout out to Chris Mattina, who the Players Association manager, director. He's in charge of that, and he done a phenomenal job setting that up for the players, because the MLR hasn't had anything like that before, and I think it's really important both for the players but also for the ownership about this is how the league is going to go, and this is the set of rules that we're going to go by, and this is what the players' rights are, this is what the ownership rights are, and this is how we're going to play rugby in America here. So I think it's good that all the players have signed off on this, and all the ownership has signed off on this, and it gives the players a bit more security as well. Minimum salaries have been increased. There's also been housing stipends for the players as well, was a big win for the league. We also have like trade rights as well. We also have what else have they done? They've done just the insurances as well, players' insurance, which obviously is a fundamental matter. And it also has like bits on what would happen if a team went, or just if you have any disputes or challenges and rules, and it went into depth about everything that governs rugby in America and how we're going to play it going forward. And the players obviously spoke originally. I think it started back before Christmas, about what they want to see, what would be a big win for the players. And the players all had the opportunity to vote and like put forward their views, and that came through the player reps and through votes and different bits about what's important to them as an individual. And then in the end, they went back and forth with the league, and came to an agreement, which was perfect. It was just in time before the start of the new Major League Rugby season. So I think it was a great win both for the players and also for the league, and potential new owners coming in as well, because they understand how the league is going to be governed and what's expected of them and what they're going to get back in return. So no more is there a risk of a team going over the salary cap. That's all. Everything is sort of set out in stone. This is how much a team is going to have to spend, and this is what the players are going to earn, and this is what the league minimums are. So I think as a whole, it becomes much more of an interesting opportunity for new investors into the league as well.
So, Paddy, let's jump over to USA Rugby here. As you know, the men's Eagles recently invited 35 players to Chula Vista last month for the first alignment camp of the year. Had a busy year, really, for everybody. How'd that feel to get back out there with the guys and the team, and talk about that camp? Was it just running around? Was it structured? Obviously, it's structured, but talk about the game.
Yeah, so obviously we finished playing rugby in November. After that November tour in Romania, so we finished on a win, finished on a high, which was great. And then we had some time to relax, recover, get your body right, and then come like sort of January time, it was time to start like building back up into the season and getting your conditioning right. So that camp was in February, so it was like gave you enough time that you're getting ready, but you're not like fully ready for the season. So it's a good opportunity to show where you are in pre-season, and obviously then show where you are at the end of the season and how you've built upon that. So really, the camp was based on getting our testing baseline. So some of the Broncos, speed, 10-meter accelerations. What else do we do? Just gym strength work as well, where we stand on that. And then that was kind of the sort of testing side to it. So that's one element of it. Then we also had the sort of strategy and the plan for the next 2 years, building towards 2027. There's 18 months, and what areas we want to improve on as a team, and what's expected of you as a player to get yourself to be one of the top players in the world. Like what do the back five need, or what do the back row need to improve on to compete against the other players in the same position as you in like Ireland, in South Africa? What are they doing? Where's the difference there? So it really gives an opportunity to see like what I need to improve on. Also, what's going to get me selected for USA going forward as well? What do I need to do this season to get picked in that first July camp and the EPS squad going forward? And also how we want to play, how we want to attack this season as well, and our kick policies and bits like that. That obviously, when you have the extra time like that, you can spend time on it, because when you come into camp, usually you have like a week preparing for a test match, so you don't have the opportunity to really have that time with the players. So it was a great. We spent a week in camp down in Chula Vista, and it was nice to connect with some new faces who haven't been in camp before, and see where they're at. And I think that's really promising for USA Rugby. Some new guys came in and really performed well.
Actually, thank you for saying that, because what's your impression of some of these young guys? I mean, this is quality. The players coming out of college and such seem to be more and more skilled every year. So talk about some. You can even call out a couple of players by name if you want.
Yeah, no. Obviously, it was great having some of these new players in. It's a great opportunity for them to show how good they are. as well, coming straight out of college, like someone like Will Sherman. He was #1 draft pick, came into camp and performed really well in all of the testing. And also, the testing is one part. You can be good at testing, but he was also a great rugby player as well when he got a chance on the field in the line out. So he's definitely one to watch for this season coming up. And then you also have some of the older guys who've been in there and amongst it and shown what the standard is. Like someone like Corey Daniel, he's someone I'm always competing with. We're similar position in the back row. So it's great to compete against each other and see where he's at, what he's good at, and what I can improve on and what I can beat him in. Because that's what it's all about. It's a competition and how you can learn from each other. And McKean Alakan as well, another great player as well.
Yeah, Paddy. So, head coach Scott Lawrence, I think it was a couple years ago, it was the big goal, right? Moonshot, 2031, when obviously the spotlight is going to be shining on the U.S. for hosting the Men's Rugby World Cup. Have the goals changed, or has like the messaging changed now that maybe part one of that is complete, right? Like qualifying for Rugby World Cup 2027, like awesome, beat Samoa, did what we had to do there to not get to the final qualification tournament. Have the goals changed or shifted, or is the messaging kind of still the same as it relates to Moonshot 31?
Yeah, I think Moonshot 2031 is the overall plan of how USA is going to get to quarterfinal of the 2031 World Cup. But within that, everything has been broken down already about what are the steps that what's our focus and what's our goals. So obviously, the goals up until that Samoa game was to qualify for the World Cup, and I suppose that's ticked off then. But you can't just rest on your laurels and think, oh, we're going to a World Cup, great. But you don't want to just go to World Cup. You want to qualify from the group stages. You want to beat the other teams in your pool. So now it's starting to look at how we're going to beat them. What's our sort of how we're going to play rugby to beat them and to qualify out of the group. So that's the main stages. That's our main goals now, is looking ahead. So developing new players over the next season, and then come into camp in July and have our full international calendar. There should be some good opportunities. I think there's going to be, I don't know how many test matches are confirmed. I think it could be anywhere from probably 10 test matches plus this season, which is great for rugby players, and gives you an opportunity to play against some of the best. And obviously, all of those matches are really important. But the thing is to build on those test matches each week to be in a better position come the end of the season. And then before you know it, it's the World Cup year. So it's all building towards that.
Go ahead. I was just going to ask, knowing that obviously you're not content with just, hey, we've qualified for the Rugby World Cup 27, we want to do well, but knowing that at least milestone has been met, right? Has there been like a mood shift or change in the group? Maybe, I don't know, confidence, momentum builder, like for professional athletes, is that like a thing where, for the fans, for people who commentate on stuff like this, we're like, yeah, momentum booster, let's go, like the vibe is changing. But do the players feel that, right? Or is that already internal and it's just like, hey, this is what we need to do?
Yeah, well, I think the vibe in camp since Scott took over has always been that we're going to qualify for the World Cup and this is how we're going to do it. And this, we all had that belief in us. Some people who comment online, some of the fans who maybe don't believe in us or don't think we're on the right path, that's up to them. But I think all of us within the group who've been there from the very start had the confidence that we're going to go and we're going to qualify for 2027. This is how we're going to do it. Obviously, the Canada game wasn't what any of us wanted. That was obviously disappointing, and I was disappointed for us as players. But we thought, okay, well, next opportunity is to play against Samoa, so we just have to win that game. And I think in that game there was a lot of pressure to qualify because people have been, obviously, players in the group have sort of been there against Portugal a couple of years ago when they didn't qualify in the repechage, and obviously you see this that could be coming. You could have had to go to a repechage and then losing to Canada, so there was a lot of pressure, but there's still that confidence that actually, you know what, we're going to do it, whatever route it takes. And I think there probably was like, actually, you know what, we've gone and done this now. There's no more hurt for these players who probably have that experience before where actually they lost and then they lost in the repechage and then they missed out on the World Cup. That actually, no, that didn't happen. You worked so hard over the last 3 years to get to this point that actually we've qualified and we're in a better place than we were 4 years ago in that time, and we're going to be in a better place come the World Cup.
Paddy, is there, obviously it's important and an honor to qualify, to wear the USA jersey, but there's ever a sense of what it means to everybody else, former players, let's say, fans, us here on this podcast. And what I mean by that is, during that qualifying match, late in the match, I got a call from Will Hooley, and he was just like, "Oh, Bill, we did it!" At the end of the match, I was like, "Whoa, okay, well, relax." But that, I'm getting goosebumps now about it, because is there ever a sense from you guys, say, on the pitch or doing the right thing, or maybe not just doing it to qualify, but for doing it for everybody, doing it for the nation?
Yeah,
you know?
Obviously, as a professional rugby player, you want to play at a World Cup, and you want to play with that American crest and the American national anthem playing, and you want to play for America at the end of the day. And I think there's a bigger picture in our locker room. We have the numbers of players who are registered rugby player in America. We have all of those. We have a list of all the past Eagles who've represented the USA and their numbers. And then before every game, we also have a guest speaker who has represented the Eagles before and has played for them. So they'll present the jerseys either in person or on a video call like this. So I think every player knows that you're playing to perform to the very best of your ability for your country, but also you're playing for all of the other players who'd love to be in your position, and also people who've sort of played in the past and people who are going to come after us as well. So they always say leave the jersey in a better place than you left it. And I think USA Rugby has improved significantly over the last couple of years. And I think come 2031, whoever's in those jerseys will be in a better position as a result of the work that's been put in over the last couple of years. And obviously, we want the best for the fans as well, and we want the fans to be there in all our games in 2026 and going forward into the World Cups.
Well, Paddy, man, it's been great talking to you. Thank you for giving us your time, and looking forward to hopefully finally meeting you in person. I don't think we met in person, but hopefully meeting you in person when you play out in New England at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be really looking forward to that. And thank you for having me on the podcast. And looking forward to meeting you in person soon.
Yeah, just forgive anything I say for those 80 minutes during play. It's nothing personal.
Yes. Well, what happens if I score for your fantasy rugby?
I'm torn. I won't start you in that match.
Okay.
Paddy, man, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Good luck this season with Seattle and with USA.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Kicked. John Fitzpatrick, I like him a lot. He's younger. He's not really that young, but I mean, he just has this energy and stuff I just like about him, and I'm glad we got him back on the show.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to draft Paddy Ryan before you do.
I think
and make sure I start him when he plays New England and scores his first MLR try. He might have a hat trick in that game. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
As long as New England wins by 1. John, thanks again, man. That's a lot of fun. Like I said, Paddy Ryan's a blast. Always good to talk to others. Listeners, thanks again for tuning in. Please like, follow, and subscribe this YouTube, Facebook channel, or on your favorite podcast player as well. Have a good night. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.